Yump. It's like, okay, we're going fast and I have no desire. It's yeah, way more civilized than a Tesla. Quieter and smoother, even though we have the windows down, it feels nicer. Yeah.
Squares! So many squares! It's hip to be cyberpunk. Kids like squares! Voxels! Digitize my semen. Squares! I only bust at right angles. Squares! So many squares!
Anyway, you don't get the Ioniq 5 without the Stinger. The Kia Stinger was Hyundai Kia's coming out party where they proved to the world that they're more than just a car company for NPCs. When I drove the Stinger, it made me go, huh, this is nice, but I'd rather have a Lexus LS430. But the Stinger remained in my brain as an outlier, a curious oddity, a pattern interrupt, a happy surprise. But I also thought of it as a one-hit wonder. Well, no. The Veloster Turbo was what I thought of as a one-hit wonder. No, wait. Then there's the Hyundai Genesis. Okay, fine. You're right. Hyundai Kia is like Weird Al. Every song is a one-hit wonder. But with the Ioniq 5, Hyundai proved that they're no longer imitating other brands. The Stinger was an M5 sort of thing. The Hyundai Genesis R-Spec was a sort of Mustang. And the Veloster Turbo was a sort of Mazda 3. But the Ioniq 5, this is Hyundai finding their voice. And if that voice is cyberpunk, great. I'm all in.
Squares! Now you can bust online! It's me, 1930s guy! And it's 2020, 2000! And I live in a dual IDSN line. And I'm gay.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill. Mr. Regular only came out of the closet last year. He is still having fun being openly gay. Bear with us. He'll tire himself out eventually.
Try lane keeping assist and radar cruise control and touch yourself while you drive. If you have 30 seconds, you too can bust!
For electric vehicles to ever truly catch on, they need to be a genre of vehicles unto themselves. An object that exists outside of the context of its most famous example. The other guy has a dual motor, so this has a dual motor setup too. The Ioniq 5 produces 320 horsepower and 446 pound-feet of torque. It's got a whole suite of drive modes that most people who buy this car will never use. Because anybody who values their time away from the charger is just going to leave this in eco mode anyway. Look, no one is going to beat Tesla in the electric car speed wars. It's foolish to even try. So you build a car that targets comfort over the animalistic desire to leave burnout marks in the parking lot of the Carl's Jr. The streaks blotting the asphalt like erasures in the road.
Oh, butt sex, butt sex, butt sex, butt sex.
As if someone had an idea and then scribbled over it with something better.
Oh, butt sex, butt sex, butt sex, butt sex.
No, you're not going to beat the other guy in pure speed. But you can get them dead to rights on affordability and build quality. Because Hyundai has been doing this a whole lot longer. The Ioniq 5 won 3 awards at the New York International Auto Show this year. And we were there for it. World Car of the Year, World Electric Vehicle of the Year, and World Car Design of the Year. Really, do they have to win all the sub-awards? That's like in USSBA or TOB or any of the competitive marching organizations. And someone wins first place, out of a group of, say, like 6 bands in your group, and the first place, and now it's time for the special awards. Or sometimes they do it reverse. They start with the special awards, and one band is winning all the special awards: best visual, best drum line, best sets, best marching. Like, oh, I wonder who's gonna win first place. Looking at the finished product, Hyundai probably could have made this a crossover SUV. But instead, they went into a sort of hatchback direction. Even though it has Hyundai's longest wheelbase at 118.1 inches, beating the 114.2 inches of the 3-row Palisade. Part of this is how the Hyundai eGMP platform privileges interior space. So you can get things like the movable center console, a 2-screen floating dashboard, or the fully reclining driver's seat with leg rest for taking a break between those long charge waits. Not that you'd be napping that long, since it's got rapid charging from 10% to 80%, claiming 18 minutes if the battery's all warmed up and everything's ready to go. Every aspect of the Ioniq 5 feels designed to keep your blood pressure at manageable levels, keeping the kids comfortable and entertained so you don't find yourself looking up bus fares and cruising the dark web for someone who can get you a new social security number. This feels like something designed less for the childless couple or bachelor lifestyle than for the small family in the sunshine optimism of early happiness before resentment begins to fester over a phantom life unlived. A husband yes-deering his way through the weekend so he won't have to sacrifice Sunday night football for an apology dinner. Sons growing up with unresolved issues over a father who always made you feel like you never knew what the hell you were doing, or worse, like you were doing it wrong. But he never explained how to do it correctly. He's just expecting you to know, as if information is transmitted through the Y chromosome. The Ioniq 5 is the afterglow before the entropy of the nuclear family sets in. Before the salary plateaus and you're spending your holidays in a hotel that still tries to entice you with the promises of HBO, you will never see this outside of a Motel 6. Motel 6. Anybody who spends time there deserves whatever happens to him. In the world of brands, this is the one where it's either this or the parking lot of a Walmart. Or maybe Lowe's would be better. There's probably less homeless people over there. Motel 6, their tagline should be, look, we're not happy about this either. Motel 6. If they were going to leave, they would have left by now. Motel 6. Drink 10 Miller genuine drafts and just wait for this to blow over. Motel 6. Did anybody really see you do it? Oh, Jeremy saw? What's Jeremy gonna do? Motel 6. If you leave now, you can make it to the Canadian border by nightfall. Motel 6. What if Double Dare, but it's just busting in a graduated cylinder until it reaches the line? Nobody gives better relationship advice than single friends because they have no skin in the game, or any desire to apply that advice to their own lives. Similarly, no one has bigger and more vehement opinions about electric vehicles than people who don't drive them. And not all of those people have bad takes. There's nothing wrong about poking holes in the arguments in favor of electric vehicles, whether it's the issue of whether they'd actually be more environmentally sound due to things like power plant emissions, all the morally liquid practices of mining lithium, or whether it's the age-old issue of electrical infrastructure. I'm not saying any of those arguments are correct, but they're a necessary part of the conversation, even if it's just to elaborate or dispel the myths about the direction the auto industry is headed. Not everybody is going to like change, but if change only happened when we were ready for it, we might still be measuring horsepower straight from the source. This Ioniq 5 is owned by our friend Brandon. You remember him from his Tune Cappuccino review. Brandon sold all of his vehicles and is committed to making an EV-only lifestyle work. Charging speed hasn't been a problem because the Ioniq 5 can swallow 350 kilowatts at once. This Ioniq 5 has the biggest battery available for the car at 77.3 kilowatts, and it does 0 to 60 in 5.1 seconds. Yes, I know a Model Y is faster, but the build quality of an Ioniq 5 feels even better than Ford's A-game Mach-E. Ever hold a pair of Bakelite Ray-Bans? Or an original IBM mechanical keyboard? Or an adjustment wheel of a Bridgeport milling machine? Or the dick of a married man whose wife gave him a hall pass because they worked through their challenges in couples therapy? As long as hubby gets a full decibel frottage once on Arbor Day and again on the day after Thanksgiving, we're good. It's that kind of firmness, that sort of feeling that this is going to stay solid forever. The first thing Brandon did was pull over in a parking lot across the street from the dealership where he bought it, pulled out a plastic trim tool, and debadged the rear, so nothing distracts you from all the squares. Look at all the squares! The world is a private label product, and everyone is in our unique square. And then he added these Euro spec stripes on the rear quarter panel and a bunch of other stuff. Oh yeah. Then there's this magnetic accessory panel. What do you think this is for? Oh, they say you're just supposed to put, a sticker here or something. Hey, you can personalize it a little bit. But we all know this is for the magnetic thing on the back of your phone. You can't say it's for holding your phone, but I like the way they're getting around the rules here. So if you remember the Ford Maverick, that down in the center console, it had a phone holder or maybe like notebook holder that is not officially part of your phone, that we can't, like manufacturers can't say, oh, here's a place for your phone because they encourage distracted driving. Hyundai did that as well with right here. They said there's a magnet behind what looks like a speaker. Isn't a speaker. It's not a speaker, is it? No.
It's not a speaker. This is just a metallic pad. The magnets will stick to it.
So the point was, like, say you have magnets that you just want to put, like, fun stuff right there. Oh, that's what it's for. That's not what it's for. That's what it's for. Put your phone right there.